Hey guys, what's going on? It's Talk for TV here. We are doing the Red Alert show. So to my left, I've got Joe.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Below me, I've got Michael.
Hi guys, looking forward to the conversation tonight. Two big pundits here, and Dan and Luke. Looking forward to their views.
Yeah. And to the bottom left, I don't know where he's gone, but I think is he returning? I've got the one and only one show and Mr. Barnsley fan, Luke. I think he's
Is that to go down to the doorbell?
What a time to ring the bell.
Yeah. Just introducing you, Luke. That's one show and Mr. Barnsley, Luke.
Yes, I'm here. No worries. I just had to answer the landline phone.
Yeah, cool. All right then, guys. First game of the season just happened against Coventry. What do you think?
Rubbish.
What do you think, Luke?
It left a lot to be desired, but then again, it was the first game of the season, and I think people need to be realistic in the fact of the build-up to the game. The fact we had disruption with we had 2 games cancelled due to COVID, and the side just looked totally unfit for the second half.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, do you agree to that, Michael?
I think we lack fitness, but I've got to ask what the game strategy was really. I thought first half, apart from 5 minutes of wonderful football and a great run from Brennan Johnson, and that sideways pass, the through ball that led to the goal, that was fantastic. But apart from that, we were off the pace. I thought the midfield looked extremely poor. Colback, I don't know if he's had too many kebabs over summer or what, but he was very poor in my opinion, especially for that second goal. If you watch the replay, first goal, Colback got megsed down their right wing, our left back position. He got done there, that led to the first goal, and then the second goal, if you watch it come across, it was his man that scored, and he was slow to react. And like I say, I don't know what he's been doing over summer, but very poor performance. Only a few positives I could take out of that game, to be honest.
But Michael, I thought Colback was brilliant. I thought that. I mean, I didn't, but I mean, for some fans, Colback's like the next Iniesta, apparently.
Ginger Pirlo.
No, he was shocking, and likewise Taylor up front, absolute waste of space. Waste of space. I thought that Mighton, he ran well, didn't really get into the game. Lolly, I didn't think had as much influence over the game as what he's had in other games in the past. But yeah, I think in the middle of midfield we lost it. Yates probably was told to do a job on O'Hare, who looked to be a good player for Coventry. He looked threatening to O'Hare, and I think Yates was probably told, mark him out of the game. But I just think in the middle of the park we lost the game. We never really got hold of the ball. We didn't get it down. We didn't play it around. We were just chasing shadows the whole afternoon.
So then, do you think, especially on the Coventry game, especially with Colback being out for most last season, do you think that was his big chance to say, Hughton, I want you to be the first choice centre midfielder?
Oh, was he down the kebab shop all last season, not just the summer?
Oh, I don't know. Jack control. Evening, Jack.
Evening, Jack.
Sorry, I'm late.
Yes, man. We were just on about Jack Colback and what you thought about him yesterday. Was he was that his opportunity to show what he can do to Tim?
I think he had a very decent pre-season. Obviously, it was against weakened sides, but I think I don't know. It was a big opportunity given how well he performed in pre-season to come into a game like this. He's been given an opportunity, given a chance. He needed to take it, and I don't really think he did.
Yeah, you can say that again. Yeah, well, probably one of the poorest players on the pitch for me.
Yeah.
I can see you want to say something, Luke. By your face.
No, I just, I just think, to be honest, that we know that the players that performed poor yesterday, they were poor last season. Nothing has really changed. Gaetan Bong, poor. Kovac, poor. Yates, to a degree, was poor yesterday. You've got then Figueiredo coming on. You just know an error's going to come when Figueiredo's in the back four. I don't know why people are so surprised that it hasn't worked. Because it didn't work last year, so why is it going to work this time?
Yeah. Do you guys agree to that?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think you can't really expect too much change if it's just the same old players and the same old tactics. Yeah, you see these fans who are saying, "Oh, like we were." I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. They didn't expect this to happen, but if it's the same players and the same tactics, what do you expect to change?
Yeah, I totally agree to that. I know you went yesterday, Joe, so what was it like there?
Well, if we're talking about the game, I think we should have. That first half, I thought we did very well, and I thought Hughton did it spot on. But then the second half, we clearly sat behind the ball, and it backfired. And I thought in that second half, if we went for it, got a second goal, it's game over. So it's just a bit frustrating.
How was the atmosphere?
Well, first half was brilliant. When we scored, absolute scenes everywhere. But second half, we sang a few songs. But other than that, it was all Coventry fans.
Oh, wow.
I only watched it on the TV, but yeah, their fans were certainly getting into it. I'm sorry to disagree with you, Jack, but yeah, I'd have to disagree when you say first half Hughton got it right. And again, I'm going from having watched it on the TV and all the stats and the analysis that you get from the TV. I think if you were to look at the percentage of possession, then I think they had something like 65% possession. There was probably 5 minutes after we scored where we were on top and we looked threatening. But apart from that, we were chasing shadows all of that first half.
Fair enough. Second half was definitely a lot worse than first.
Oh yeah, definitely. But overall, I think we were probably second best in the game, and 2-1's probably a fair reflection of that game.
They definitely deserve to win.
I was going to talk about Luke Savicker. It's just unfortunate. Since he started to get into the game, he seemed to pick up a groin injury from what I gathered. Do you think that was a bit of a turning point, or do you think it was really bad anyway? That's for anyone.
I think it's hard to say. He wasn't really on the pitch for all that long, and when he played that brilliant pass into Johnson that set up the goal. So he was decent, but I don't know, he wasn't on the pitch when we were sat back. So it's hard to really say whether or not it was that much of an effect on it for me. But it's a real shame that I think he did get the injury because, I want to see him given a go. He looks like a really promising young player. But if he keeps picking up injuries, it could really come back to haunt him.
I'm going to have to go, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I'll catch you a bit later.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you.
Back down to 4. Do you agree to that as well, Luke?
I mean, I've had to just remember what we're actually talking about then, because I went into my little world. But yeah, so I think he was probably one of the best defenders on the pitch yesterday. He was the one that I had the most kind of confidence with, and as it usually happens, the best player gets injured. I mean, Joe Worrell with a calf injury before the game, so he gets injured. It's like, and I mean, I'm just really irritated today with the fact that it seems like since full time yesterday, all I have read and all I have listened to is people expecting so much kind of to be different when we've only made 2 signings. I mean, how can you change the tactics dramatically when these were the tactics for those players last season, regardless of whether it worked or not? Chris Hughton obviously thought last season this is the best we can do with the players we have. So automatically you add a goalkeeper and a winger in, and instantly everybody forgets that the squad's more or less the same. I mean, what is there to change apart from go, oh yeah, for the whole game, let's just attack and see how that works. I mean, we don't have the players for that, or by the looks of it, did not even have the energy for that. When you've got 4 players cramping up before the end of the game, how do you expect them to go forward full pelt like it's the start of the match? I mean, yeah, first half, probably it took us a bit of time to get going. Then again, what's new with Forest? We knew that as well. We knew everything about yesterday's game pre-game, probably. You could have written the script before it started. Yet, by my reckoning, people forgot that that's what Forest did last year. And we're just totally thinking, oh, well, totally different squad this year. But it's not.
Do you agree to that, Jack?
Yeah, I think everybody, when it comes to the start of the season, you've got that buzz of optimism, and you're thinking, oh, this could be our year, this could be our year, So I can understand why some fans have got taken away by it, and they're expecting something different. But like Luke said, it's the same players pretty much. I mean, there's a couple who've come back from loan and a couple that we brought in. But other than that, it's very similar to what we've seen last season. So unless Hughton changes the tactics himself, which as a manager, he likes this style, he's employed this style at so many different clubs, it's not really going to change too much. So, I think if we'd bought in more players, then yeah, fair enough. I can see, maybe these players are more suited to the way Hughton wants to play. Maybe they know, that way a bit better than what the players we have at the minute. But yeah, I think I can see why fans are expecting something different just because it's the hype of a new season. But if you're looking into it seriously and you're looking a bit more, sensible, I guess you could say, you kind of would have expected something similar to happen.
Yeah, I completely agree. Do you agree with that, Joe?
Yeah, like Jack says, every season you've got optimism, you want to do well, whatever. It's just a shame we lost, and I think the thing that's worrying for me is Coventry, and I don't want to be negative on Coventry, but they're not the best team in the league, so I'm a bit worried about this season. But then again, we're only 1 game in.
Yeah, that what I've been saying that quite a bit today about it. It's only 1 game in, and it just probably put a lot of flat on yesterday's game.
But Dan, apparently it's not actually 1 game; it's 47 to 49 games because we're connecting the 2 seasons together. Apparently, the fact that it's been between now May and August is technically irrelevant. Apparently, I mean,
I've been saying that as well.
I don't quite understand this kind of concept of continuing kind of and connecting the 2 seasons together, because for one, you've lost a load of players that probably played last season. 2, you've hardly signed anybody to replace them. 3, the lone players that have come back, Gabriel and Johnson, were probably the best players on the pitch for us yesterday. And then, I mean, it isn't the same season. Yes, okay, Hughton's not changed a lot tactically, but he's not going to. He's not the type of manager that's going to change his system. I mean, to a degree, he already technically is because he hasn't played many youth players at all of his other sides, yet now he's playing Gabriel, Johnson, Mighton. He's put Finn back and Tyrese Fornar on his bench. I mean, what more are you expecting him to do? I mean, we're having to work with the squad we have. I'm going to probably repeat this about 14 times in this show because it seems to be the main point. But we can't expect difference when we have the majority of the same. If you sign another 4, 5, 6 players and it's exactly the same, we're getting exactly the same outcome, then yeah, you've probably got more grounds to stand on. But for me, this season is the first time Chris Hughton's had a pre-season, and then being able to influence transfers, whether you exactly believe he's the one bringing them in or Dane Murphy is. I mean, Dane Murphy did not look impressed yesterday, and from what I've been hearing, he doesn't hold back with what he wants to say, so he's probably had a few words to say in the dressing room afterwards to Chris Hughton and the players, but at the end of the day, Chris Hughton is an experienced manager. Whether you think that he's too experienced is another matter altogether. And to these people that are going, that I've seen today go, yeah, but nothing's changed since I took Karanka. Well, if you look at the managers we've had in, they're all the same type of manager. So there must be something from up top saying that's the way we want to approach it. Because we've gone from Karanka to O'Neill to Lamucci and now to Hughton. They all play the same brand of football. You're not going to get much change if you keep hiring the same type of manager.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And I was going to touch on the Manchester because obviously, as you have pointed out that about it, saying that people have seemed to connect last season to this season, and quite a lot of people are already going through Hughton said, which I put my foot out straight away. Like, I completely disagree that we should be even thinking that after one game, and that it's not even. Yeah, it's coming up to a year in October, but I think it's very, very daft that they already started talking about fans already wanting him out.
I think all you've got to do really is look at his previous record at the clubs he's had. I mean, I think it's something like he's never finished below 4th in a full season in the Championship, and you know, okay, it's the first game of the season's a loss. Last season wasn't great, but you know, we needed stability. We went the first 5 games, I think it was, without even scoring a goal, something like that. You know, so we needed stability. We needed to work on a base to build off, and now he's got a full season. Okay, he didn't have a full preseason because of COVID, but that's something that you never any managers really had to deal with in the past. So you let him off a bit with that. But I think you've seen the way that he's dealt with the leagues before. Seasons before in the Championship. Like I say, he's never finished below 4th in a full season. It's one game. I can see why fans are getting a bit downcast because they don't see any improvements. But like I say, it's one game. Like, a lot of fans who have had him before have said he likes to be, he might be a bit more defensive at first, but once he's got that base and he allows more of his flair players like Knockhart at Brighton, for example, to come out of his shell a bit. So, it's the start of the season. It's a bit disappointing, but you've got to look at his record and look what he can do. And, I know football is very reactionary, and one loss, fans are wanting you out. If you'd have won that game tomorrow, it would have been, Chris Hughton masterclass. We're going up. So, you've got to take it one game at a time and see what he's done in the past, and really, before you start to just go for his head already, which I think's far, far too early.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, how do you feel about it, Joe?
Well, Did you see what I put in the chat yesterday? I was quite negative about Hughton. Maybe that was just because I was there and stuff, but I'm not very happy with the style of play at the moment. But I don't know. Hopefully it will change for Bradford or Bournemouth. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I couldn't care less how we play as long as we somehow manage to have a bit of success. We could play the most boring football I've ever seen, and and if as long as we do it, we do it. I'm not really bothered about the style of play. I just want to get out of this league. I've had enough.
I have, to be fair, but saying that, known for a star anyway out is down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the massive sigh.
I don't think that it's that bad. I don't think that the only way out is down. I mean, you've just got to give the guy a chance to assemble something of his own squad. I mean, I would just like to point out to anybody that sees this video and is thinking get rid of Chris Hughton, right? That costs money. Sacking Chris Hughton means you had to pay up his contract. Then you also have to pay up his backroom team. Then, when you hire a new guy, you have to pay him his wages and his backroom team. We're already having to be smart about our business in the window. If we decide to change manager, we're going to have to be even smarter because the money gets even smaller. And I just... we have the players there in attack. I mean, yeah, you can add to it, but now you've got Zinkernagel, Lolly, Myton, Johnson, Cavallio, Graben and Taylor, if you want to lump those two in there as well. We should be able to form a decent attack. Yet, for some reason, whether it's players, whether it's managers, tactics, whatever, they don't seem to be able to do it yet. Apart from the fact that Johnson looked brilliant when he went down the wing, and the ball into Lyle Taylor was brilliant, by the way. I just think that this squad is very, very incomplete to the one we're going to see at the end of the transfer window. I mean, we're without an actual proper left back. I mean, I don't class Bong as a footballer, never mind a left back. I mean, you've then got, I think you're still going to get a ball-playing midfielder in that can actually pass it. I mean, we're missing James Garner's passes yesterday, in my opinion. The balls from Yates and Colback were totally ineffective. That doesn't work. Yet why are we surprised that it doesn't work when it's not worked at all when we've done it before? I think we're going to get a big lad up front so we can alternate our play. Because I think the second half, you got the ball up to the big guy to hold it up. That's to bring your players closer into play. Whereas you're trying to do long balls up to Lyle Taylor when he's just going to keep rolling around on the floor. Doesn't really do a lot. That's just going to get it to come straight back. Sometimes I do wonder whether it's Chris Hughton's tactics or our players' brains. You know, if something doesn't work the first time, why do you keep repeating it after and after and after and still get the same result, but then you still keep doing it? It's like playing balls out from Breeze Samba in the first half. He kept giving the ball away. Yet the second half, he still kept doing it. And we were doing this last year. We kept repeating what we were doing game after game after game, and it wasn't working. That's like insanity. There has to be some kind of learning from the players during the games to then, if, say, we're getting under pressure, someone's got to get the ball and carry it. Run at him, carry the ball, because then while we're going forward, we're not going to be under pressure at the back to put the pressure on the error-prone defence.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. So do you think I'm going to not flip it, but I'm just going to ask the question about, do you think we're quite close to getting that completed 11 especially with attacking Arsenal? Do you think we are lacking that James Garner in centre midfield and as you said, proper left back?
Can I answer this first?
I know what you're going to say, but yeah.
And striker.
And
Are we
striker.
are we close to our complete 11? Nowhere near. I don't think we're anywhere near the 11 that's going to play the first game in September, whatever that is. I don't actually know.
I
But
thought you would.
I just think we're going to get to the stage at the end of the transfer window where probably our right back, our left back, our midfield too, and probably our striker and probably another winger are probably totally different to what started yesterday.
What do you guys think to it?
I don't know. I think there's definitely players who I can see staying in the side. I don't know. Luke says he expects it to be totally different. I'm not sure whether it will be. I don't really know. It's quite a difficult one. I think there'll definitely be changes. And some players being brought in, like we definitely need a left back. We could do with maybe another right back to complement Gabriel. A strike would be great to get in, but I don't know if it'll be hugely different, like Luke's saying. But I can see it being different somewhat.
I want to clarify. I'm not saying buy that many players. I'm saying that out wide you'll probably see Zinkernagel for Lolly.
Okay.
And then in midfield you'll probably see either one of Garner, Lauren, or an unsourced player that comes in alongside probably either Colback, Fornar, Yates, Cafu, as in the change in the midfield. Then right back, I think it'll either be we'll stick with Gabriel or we'll get somebody in and probably see Gabriel go somewhere else because that's the reports I'm seeing everywhere. Not that I actually believe many of these reports, but I'm reading them and I'm shaking my head like, why? Left back is definitely going to be a change because if we play Bong all season, then I think most of our fans will have heart attacks.
Bong's the one.
Oh, come on, Joe.
saying that, I don't know if anyone saw. You know when he was running down the left and he sent like two of their players. Everyone went mental.
Yeah, I did actually hear that.
Talking about James Garner, do you know Alan Nixon?
Yeah.
One of my mates said to him, "What do you think who's most likely to get him?" And he said Sheffield United. But he said, bet only £1 on that and not 10.
Yeah, I did kind of read something yesterday saying that Garner could be going elsewhere, but I don't know how true it is. Alan Nixon seemed to block my TFT Twitter account for some reason.
Is he better than him?
Alan Nixon is nearly reliable as if we put a transfer link out because literally he just gets it off everywhere else. I mean, the amount of stuff that he's reported, and I've seen it on a mainstream, like George Harvey put out the thing about, I think it was Tom Holmes and Josh Lauren. In about 5 minutes, Alan Nixon had tweeted about it. It's like, do your own research.
Yeah. I'm was going to ask you, Jay, what do you think about the squad? Do you agree with these guys?
Yeah, totally. We definitely need more depth. Well, I mean, we've got a lot of depth in some positions, and like, for example, at left back we have one. So I definitely think we need 2 left backs. Get rid of Bong. Definitely need like a starting striker who will like be. Hopefully, well, you never know. Grabban could turn into his prime again, but I'm not sure. So we need definitely a few more positions.
2? Why not stop at 4? Why not just go and get the same
a few.
we've left
A
out?
few.
I would go and around seeing Ronaldo's debut and see what you guys think of it. I know you'll say you probably think about 15 minutes, but do you think? How did you think that 15 minutes went?
I mean, he did a lot of running forward, and he was very quick, and nobody else could keep up with him because they were all knackered. I mean, I felt sorry for the guy. He was getting into decent positions, had absolutely nothing to aim at because he was totally fit and everybody else just wasn't. He had a full pre-season for Watford. We had about, I think it was 3/4 of a pre-season, and looked like we more or less walked off a London Marathon.
Yeah. How did Cindy Noda look for you, Joe, from the stands?
I didn't really see much of him because obviously I don't know. I just can't remember much of the game, but I think he did just all right. Nothing special.
Tried to forget the game as much as possible. Did you, Joe?
Yeah, as soon like I said to my dad, this free kick's going in. As soon as it hit the net, we just walked out. It was so annoying.
Do you think Cindenado will be a useful acquisition to Forest Chat?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It was hard to really base it on what we saw yesterday, it was yesterday. But I think it could be quite a useful acquisition, like you say. I think getting somebody in who can play out wide, got that bit of skill, was a bit more experienced than Myton or Johnson. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent, to be fair.
Definitely. I'm going to talk about the goals. I know there was that bit between you and Sam the chat about the second goal. I mean, the first goal, I said both goals were pretty. They both fell in the box quite perfect for them. I mean,
soft goals.
Pardon?
There were soft goals to concede.
Yeah. I mean, first one, Colback getting mad. Second one, Sam could have saved it.
Yeah, definitely. I think he could have.
I don't know about how you two feel about it.
I don't know. I think the first goal you got to give. I mean, was it O'Hare? You got to give him a bit of credit. Like he did do really well down the wing, but it was a bit. I don't know. It is a bit annoying to see a player get megged like that. And someone with the experience of Colback, you kind of expect that not to really be something that happens to him. And then it was just sort of a right mess in the box. They managed to just get the ball fell right to him, and he got the finish in. And then their second goal, I don't know. It was quite similar to that one, the one that happened at Derby, where it was like he managed to almost keep out Samba, but couldn't quite get enough on it. It looked like it was just destined to happen, and there's nothing he could have done.
How do you feel about that, Luke?
I mean, I feel like anybody with any ounce of pace and skill against Bong and Colback could probably get about 30 goals a season, because literally they are the slowest and probably least intelligent players in our squad. One just isn't a footballer. We already established this. But the other, and Jack Colback, for me, I mean, the guy winds me up so much, because you want him to have a Watson season where he actually gains it, and like he doesn't have to be the quickest, but he just gets there. But he's just not there. He doesn't get to balls. He doesn't play passes. He gets megged by Callum O'Hare. I mean, and the second goal, right? First off, who committed the foul?
Yates,
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So Yates commits the foul. That's point number one. Point number two, where... Oh, Facebook notification. Two, where was the clearance to start off with of literally taking man and ball and clearing it away instead of doing a namby-pamby and jumping around trying to whatever they were doing? Then there's the one that then it goes down to the next guy, and I think it was Yates and Figueiredo, or maybe McKenna, I can't remember. One of the three. somebody's got to basically throw themselves at it instead of sticking your leg out. Throw your whole body towards it. It's more as the last minute. Just take a blow. As for Samba, I mean, I think it was just a reaction. I think he was trying to push it out and just didn't get enough strength to it.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to touch up on about Wednesday's game against Bradford because we've got a game a few days after yesterday, or Sunday if you're watching it another day. How do you how do you feel about going into the Bradford game?
I don't care. It's the Carabao Cup. I have no interest.
Do you think Eddie O'Farrell should start, guys?
Yeah.
Why not? It's the cup. Change your whole 11.
And Gary Brazil should start.
And Andy Reid in midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? get down up front. Get down up front. Holding up the ball.
Get down up front.
Dan's a lethal striker.
I don't probably top bin.
Dan plays for 20 subscribers.
Yeah. How do you yeah. How do you feel about when Snapchat?
I think it could be a good chance to get some of the youngsters involved. Maybe see Back get a start, Fornar get a start, for example. It'll be quite interesting to see if he gives some of the youngsters a go and see whether we can see anything from them. Because I'd quite like to see some of the youngsters get a game. It's a competitive fixture. Bradford aren't a team that we would need to play a full strength side against. So why not? Why not go with a weakened side? Maybe see what is it, Horvath, the goalkeeper? I can't remember if that's his name. I'd like to see him get a go. I've not seen anything of him. Obviously, I think he's played at Old Forest, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. And just mix up the lineup, and there could be a chance for some of the players to show why they should play week in, week out on a Saturday.
Yeah. Go on.
Can I just say, I would love to see a back two of Baba Fernandez and Finn back at the back.
Proper tongue twister that was.
Talking about Dan going up front, can you play left back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Dan. Can you play left back? We need a left back. Come on.
I agree.
Yeah. Are you going to start a petition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
We
Going
are.
on the government website now.
Yeah. So I'd like to say thank you for blowing me, Jack, for coming on.
All right, thanks for having me.
To the one show, Barnsley fan, Luke.
Always a pleasure to come on, Dan. Always a pleasure.
I'd like to say thank you for Joe for coming on.
Thank you. It was a great podcast.
Okay. I'd like to say thank you guys for watching, if you are still watching it at this very point. So I'd like to say thank you for watching.